How you doing, guys? Big Mac Dan School here again today, back once again with another episode of Warhammer Thoughty, and today I'm going to be updating you on my December hobby progress. So, my December hobby progress, how am I getting on? Well, let's deal with the Gorkanaut Morkanaut Stomper first. Still not got back to that because I'm concentrating on other things, so that's on the back burner until I've finished the main thing I'm concentrating on, which is the Harry Potter miniatures game. I want that finished for Christmas Eve, really, just so it's ready to play over the Christmas period. So, yeah, I might as well show you some of the miniatures I painted on that, and some that are ready to be painted now. It's the 23rd today, the day this video goes out. I'm recording on the 22nd, so hopefully by the end of the 23rd I'll have everything done, and there'll be no need for me to be rushing on Christmas Eve morning or anything like that to get it finished. What I want is painted to a playable standard where I'm happy that you can easily tell the miniatures are on opposing sides. So that's it really. So I might as well show you my spiders first, hadn't I? These spiders, interestingly, on the Night Models website, they come on bases, so I've got them on bases. But in the core box, when we pre-ordered the core box, or when people pre-ordered the core box, I noticed in the core box you've only got enough bases for the miniatures that are supposed to be in the core box. So for Creature, Dobby, Filch and Dumbledore, there's not enough bases, and if you put them on the bases, there's not enough for all of the spiders, obviously, so there's 4 spiders without bases. So what I did was today I nipped out to Element Games and picked up a box of these Tabletop Scenics bases. They only had 2 left in stock, so I was quite lucky that they had them in stock. And I stuck the spiders on these ones because these don't have the cobblestone effect on them. I'm probably going to come back to these miniatures after I've finished painting them and change the bases anyway. But for the Christmas period, I want the miniatures that you can see the bases. I want to have the cobblestone effect on at least, so it's a point of interest on the base. But these ones, you'll notice they cover the entire base really. So you wouldn't see that cobblestone effect even if you had them on the cobblestone effect bases. So these, you'll probably notice anyway. I'm not sure of the lighting, but I'd have thought you'll be able to see. They've been sprayed black from a quite flat angle, and then from above they've been sprayed with my Halford's grey spray primer that I like to use. So it's just to give it a slight zenithal highlight effect, and they're sprayed quite unevenly. So this one and this one are darker. The ones in the middle are a bit lighter, and that one's a sort of different shade to all of them really. It's just so the end product, they'll look slightly different, a slightly different hue. What I'll probably do with these is a base coat of a really watered down brown on the spiders, just so you really get some of that light and dark effect from the pre-shading. And then maybe a dry brush on certain areas of the spiders and pick out highlights on some of the rocks that the spiders are stood on and stuff like that. Nothing too fancy really, just so I don't have to spend too much time on them. Because these are sort of, I think you should let the techniques you use do all the work with these miniatures. They're not like a centerpiece miniature for the game. They're more like an extra miniature for the game, I think. I don't know for sure. Maybe if you've played the Harry Potter miniatures game, you'll be able to tell me that for sure. So there's the spiders. Tomorrow, or today, when this video goes out, I'm going to be working on these ones. So this is Harry, Ron and Hermione. Harry there, Ron there, Hermione there. Again, I've done a pre-shade on these, so from underneath or from a flat angle, this sort of angle, let's say this is Harry's the spray can here, he's spraying with his wand. So from this sort of angle, I've sprayed Mechanicus Standard Grey. Then above I sprayed the Halford's Grey Primer again, because it's quite a light grey compared to the Mechanicus Standard. And then from right above, I've sprayed with Halford's White Primer. So it's just to make painting them a lot simpler. So if you pre-shade, and then you paint on top of them with really watered down colour, then you get that shading effect in the recesses, in the folds of the capes and stuff like that, and the different bits of the hair. So I quite like that technique. It works quite well on the Death Eaters that I'm about to show you. I might as well just see if I can get some of these miniatures in focus for you though. Hopefully they'll go in focus if I put my hand up to the camera. So here's Hermione. There's Hermione. It's a lovely looking miniature, that. If it's not in focus for you, I'll put a picture up. And here is Ron. They do Ron, 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 they do Ron, Ron. That's Ron for you. And young Harold Potter. There he is. Fantastic. There was quite a few little blemishes and stuff on these miniatures. A few bits that needed attention with a bit of liquid green stuff. Or it would have been better with green stuff, really. But I thought I'm limited for time. And my liquid green stuff has actually dried out to a certain extent. So it's worked quite well in my favour. That the liquid green stuff's dried out, because it's acting a bit more like normal green stuff. So if I get a particularly dry bit and then fill a gap with it, then it's like a really wet version of green stuff, really, rather than an actual liquid green stuff, which is liquid green stuff's more like a thick paint, whereas this is like a thick liquid green stuff. So it's worked quite well in my favour, like I said. And then the other miniatures, the Death Eaters. So I've got these painted now to a standard that I'm happy to play with. However, there's a few little things I might want to change on them. I need to address the flesh. I've just gone over with, I think it was, I've just gone over the hands with Rakarth flesh, I think it was. But I need to go back in there and put a wash over them and maybe just go over the second layer of Rakarth flesh. And the masks, the Death Eater masks, I'm probably going to put a second colour on each of them. This one has come out quite well. I'll just give you a close-up there. Hopefully you can see that. He's got like a silver slithering sort of snaky pattern on his chest. And he's got like a brown cape. And I think, how did I do this one? I'm not entirely sure. I think this one I did like a blue tunic and the sleeves. And then I went in with some blue on, it's a Vallejo blue. It's a really quite a dark, like a royal blue or a navy blue. And I went in just on the edges of the boots just to give it that sharp sort of leather look and feel. And then the wand, all the wands for the time being I've done in a Mournfang brown, but probably going to go in and change them all slightly so they all look like different woods, because the wizards in Harry Potter all have wands made of different woods and different materials. They all have a different wood and a different core, so some I think have a willow with like a unicorn horn core, or with like a phoenix feather core or something like that. Obviously you can't see the cores of the wands on these miniatures, but it's nice to pick out the fact that the different ones by just painting them different colours. Just give the wizards that little bit more individuality. And here's one of the female Death Eaters. Let me see. This one, the sleeves are Inky by Darkness. It's a really thin down Inky by Darkness, just over a pre-shaded miniature again. And again, the cape is brown. I think I went in with a dry brush of, I think it was Celestra Grey dry brush, but it might have been Mechanicus Standard or one of the other Citadel Greys. I can't remember exactly. And it's worked quite well on the skirt of this miniature. I quite like it. And the mask on this one is, I think that's just the old bolt gun metal paint, but I can't remember for sure. It might be mithril silver. It's very shiny, so I'm thinking maybe it's mithril silver, but I could have sworn it was bolt gun metal. So yeah, they've all got blues and greens on them with the Inky by Darkness on the sleeves, just to tie them all together really. It's like blues or green blues, or blue greens, depending on your thoughts on it. This one, the cape, is that's Inky by Darkness on the cape rather than the brown on the cape, and the mask on this one is, it's Warp Block Bronze, the mask on that one, so I definitely need to pick out some other bits on the mask on that one, I think, just to make the mask stand out a bit more from the miniature. When the light catches it, it shines quite well, but just pick out a few areas on the mask just to make it look a bit more individual. This one's got a pattern on the chest as well, which I kind of messed up a little bit. I went in and I couldn't really see where my brush was hitting because it's right in between the folds of the cape there. But I think I've recovered it reasonably well by just going over it in a heavy Nuln Oil wash. And And the tunic on this one is that Vallejo blue. I can't remember for the life of me the name of the blue, but it's that Vallejo blue. And this one, again, is that Vallejo blue on the skirt, and then the arms I think are Inky by Darkness, brown cape. And the face mask on this one it's a Citadel Relicta Gold, which is an air paint. It's like a really pale gold, which I really like. The reason I bought that paint was to paint my some custodes I had. I wanted to use it a little bit of gold on them, but not a yellowy gold. So with this gold, I was going to do a pale gold. But I've not had a chance to paint them yet, and Magnus the Red, I wanted to use the gold on him. But again, I've not had a chance to paint that miniature yet. There's many miniatures on the back burner for me. So that's just a quick look at these Harry Potter miniatures for you. What else have I got to do? So like I said, the Gorkanaut Morkanaut Stomper. If you want a better look at the Harry Potter miniatures and the finished kids ones, first of all, let me say, on Boxing Day, so the 26th of December, if you don't know what Boxing Day is, there'll be a Harry Potter video for you. It goes out regularly on a Wednesday. So if you want a closer look at them, I'll no doubt have them in a showcase this Wednesday. And yeah, so there's the Gorkanaut Morkanaut Stomper that I'm working on, and there's the Conquest miniatures as well. I wanted to get them built and hopefully primed by the end of December. The only ones I've not got built so far are these ones, and I'm thinking of cheating a little bit, quite frankly, because I do have some of these miniatures already, and if I get them painted up, then I'm going to say that counts for these guys, because I'm tempted to use these ones for my Death Watch, because the Death Watch, you get different rules when you take different Primaris miniatures, basically. So I think the Hellblasters, for example, can fall back and still shoot. The Intercessors give you a certain rule. The Inceptors give you a certain rule. And they give the whole squad that rule. So if I just take these and add them to my Death Watch, it'll make my Death Watch a fair bit more tactically adaptable. But it's not that, you know, I won't get to play with my Death Watch an awful lot, but it would just be nice to have some Primaris Marines in with the Death Watch as well. Especially considering I'm thinking of putting the Primaris Librarian in with the Death Watch. So, yeah, everything's built at the minute. There's a little bit of green stuff work I need to do on some of the Death Guard miniatures still. But that'll basically be a day when I just sit down and do green stuff work, I think. It's only 9 models that I need to do the green stuff work on, or no, maybe 10 models actually, because there's one character model I want to do a bit of green stuff work on as well, just to make them a bit more unique. So there's the Poxwalkers and the Plague Marines that I need to do a bit of, three Plague Marines that I need to do a bit of green stuff work on, plus a Biologist Putrefier, I think. And that's it. Then that'll be my tasks done for the year. I'm in a much better place than I thought I was going to be after the first week. I felt like I had hardly any progress. But by the time the video went out, after the first week, it was after the second week, I think. By the time the video went out, I'd already started. I'd already pretty much got the Death Eaters to that stage. So it seems like on the Sundays, I just cram a lot of work in. So I'm hopeful that the Harry Potter miniatures will be finished on time. I'm pretty certain they will be. Be very disappointed if they're not. And then it's on to maybe do just like I said, a day to one side to do green stuff work on the Conquest minis, and then it's on to the Gorkanaut Morkanaut Stomper type thing, the Orky construct, and that's it. So let me know if you've been cracking on with stuff this month. What have you been doing? What do you need to get finished by the end of the year? So make sure you tune in on Wednesday for my Harry Potter core game showcase. If you want to see close-ups of those Harry Potter miniatures. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the battlefield.